Hello guys, welcome to this video on Finance Simplified. From this video, we will be starting with the actual thing into stock markets. We'll be learning various terms which are being used in stock markets as well. So let's start this video. The very first thing that stock market is a secondary market, as you know. The before the two videos which I have already posted in this series are quite important for you to understand this video, because if you don't have idea what is the financial market and what is actually stock market is, then you will face difficulty in understanding this video. So if you are watching this video directly, please go in and watch the other two videos, the first two videos of this series in Finance Simplified. So in this video we will be talking about the secondary market, that is the stock exchange. We will be talking about different terms, different people who are engaged in this stock exchange actually. So what is the secondary market? Is where the securities once issued are bought and sold between investors. In the very first video, I've already told a difference between primary market and secondary market. Once the securities are already issued, it is being traded in the secondary market. Now, secondary market means stock exchange. It kinds of stock exchange. Investors like you are an investor. Issuer means the company or the organizations like Reliance, Adani Power, who are issuing the shares. They are known as issuers. Then we have financial intermediaries like brokers we have, and regulator, which is basically SEBI, Securities Exchange Board of India, for stock markets. So basically there are three national level stock markets in India: NSE, National Stock Exchange; BSE, Bombay Stock Exchange; MSEI, previously known as MCXSX. It is known as Multi Commodity Exchange, buying and selling of goods or any other physical asset other than shares. A multi commodity exchange, which is known as MCXSS, previous name, it is a place where you can buy and sell golds or any other asset excluding shares. So basically, we are going to talk about BSE and NSE only in this entire Finance Simplified series. What are the members in stock exchange? In the entire process, members are there. Brokers, they're known as the members of the stock exchange. You can buy shares through a broker only, not directly from exchange. Remember this thing. Second, we have investors, those who invest money in the stock exchange, like you are an investor. Issuers, company that seek admission for their securities to be listed in the stock markets. Means companies, suppose you have a startup, you want to raise funds through stock exchange, so you will approach the various stock exchange and will list your company there. Basically you are an issuer in this case. The companies which are listed in stock exchange, they're issuers. Now, types of investors. First is a retail individual investors like you and us. Second, we have high net domestic worth in individuals who invest more amount of money. Third, we have domestic institutional investors, and the fourth we have FII, that is known as foreign institutional investors, or portfolio investors, they are also known as. Suppose the very first category is a RII, which we are basically retail individual investor. Any investor who invests more than 2 lakhs in shares will be in HNI category, high net worth in individuals. So this is something which you must understand, types of investors. Then there is a note. All stock exchanges in India follow a common settlement cycle. Trading which takes place, it is T plus 2. Now let's see what is it. It's very important. It's really very important. Suppose if I have purchased a share today, your trade means the buying and selling of shares. Okay, it means trade. Suppose you are trading today. Today. Suppose it's 10th of May. You are trading today. You have a demat account. In that demat account, shares will come after 2 days. If today is T day, suppose T, then after 2 days means T plus 2 day. After 2 days, the shares which you have purchased today will come in your demat account. That is known as the settlement cycle in a stock exchange. See, basically, don't confuse between trading and settlement. Trading means the day when you have purchased the shares or you have sell the shares, that is known as trading day. And settlement means when you have purchased the share and that shares are showing in your demat account. It is known as a settlement, and that settlement happens after 2 days, which you must understand. This is a settlement cycle in a stock exchange. That settlement happens after 2 days of purchasing shares, which is known as T plus 2. Okay, if you have purchased shares today 10th May, on 12th May in your demat account the shares will be transferred. It is known as T plus 2 stock exchanges, which you must remember. Then we have understanding the clearinghouse function of stock markets. Now what is a clearinghouse function? Suppose you might have seen that you suppose you got a check of Axis Bank. See, I have written over here. In banking system of India, the RBI, Reserve Bank of India, does the job of clearing house. Suppose you get a check of 10,000 rupees of Axis Bank and you have an account in SBI. You don't have account with with Axis Bank. So how you are going to basically materialize that money onto your account? You are going to SBI and you will tell that this is a check. SBI will take that check through the function of RBI. Through RBI, SBI will tell Axis Bank that this is the money. So Axis Bank will give money to SBI. So this is something known as clearinghouse function of the Reserve Bank. In the same case, in stock markets also we have clearinghouse function, which is being done by this three clearinghouse agencies. In banking system we have RBI, but here we have for NSE the clearinghouse function is done by National Securities Clearing Corporation Limited. For BSE it is done by Indian Clearing Corporation Limited. For MCX Metropolitan Clear, it is for MCX, for that exchange. You have to remember for NSE we have National Securities Clearing Corporation Limited. For BSE we have Indian Clearing Corporation Limited. Through these clearing houses, shares will move from sellers to buyers. Suppose you are a buyer. Suppose there is a seller. Suppose there is a company Reliance who are selling that shares. So how that share will come to you? That thing in between is done by a clearinghouse function, and this has been done by these three organizations. Now, understanding depository and depository participants. It is quite very important terms used in stock markets. Who is a depository and who is a depository participant? In a very simple sense, if I say a depository is a commercial bank, like suppose Axis Bank, and a depository participant is a RBI, Reserve Bank of India. You can't make an account with RBI, can you? No. You can make an account with Axis Bank, you can make an account with HDFC, SBI, PNB, anything, but you can't make an account with RBI. So this is same thing applies in stock markets. Who is a depository? For securities to be eligible to trade in secondary market, it should be held in electronic form or demat form. This is the very first thing which you remember. All the securities are now held in demat form, electronic form. Previously, many people have share certificate. Suppose we have purchased a share, organizations used to give you share certificate, which has been done in the older times. But now all the shares are held in electronic form, in demat form. That is why we make demat account as well. So this is known as dematerialized form. National Security Depository Limited and Central Depository Services Limited are the two depositories in India. This is the actual place where your shares are deposited, settled. We have talked about the cycle T plus 2. So after settlement, this in these two places, either one of these places, your shares are there, and your broker, which is basically an Upstock, Grow, Zerodha, they are your brokers. They are known as depository participant. To interact with a depository means to interact with an RBI, you have to go through Axis and SBI banks. So the same thing applies here itself. To interact with NSDL and CDSL, which are the depositories, you have to make an account with a broker, that is a depository participant, which can be Upstock, Grow, anything, depending upon your choice. So this is something which you really need to understand. Depository and depository participants. You can't make an account directly with depositories. Remember this thing. You can't make an account directly with RBI. You can make your account with depository participants, and through depository participants your account will be created in depositories as well. When you are filling the when you are doing the entire step of making a demat account, you will find easily that how the account is being created. You will see it practically. We will be discussing that step as well over in this Finance Simplified series. So this is a depository and depository participant. I hope that you have understood these two terms. Then this is what I have made a drawing over here. See, we have depository participants at the top. See, there is an investor standing. He can't directly contact CDSL. He neither can contact with that with NSDL, but he can contact a broker, and the broker will make a connection with either NSDL or CDSL. This broker will make a contact. So this is something which you need to understand. Here the investor is unable to contact directly with NSDL nor with CDSL, but he can contact with broker, and through the broker his account will be made in NSDL or CDSL, which is the depositories. Okay, now to trade in BSE and NSE, you need to have a demat account, an account where where you can hold securities in demat form. Demat form is electronic form, and demat account will be created in the process when you are opening an account with a broker. A demat account will also be created. Second thing is a trading account, an account from where you can trade, we can purchase and sell securities. Trading account, and you must have a savings bank account. Okay, now what is the documents required for a demat account? Your PAN card, address proof, which is basically an Aadhaar card in India, check duly cancelled and signed, or passbook picture is also sometimes applicable depending upon your brokers. The passbook front page of the passbook you can upload there, or you have to give a personalized check. Personalized check means what? The check in which your name is mentioned. It is known as a personalized check. And passport size photo. They will take your selfie. You have to upload a selfie there. Actually, a passport size photo is also need to be uploaded. Actually, so these are the things which you need to open an account with a depository. What is a contract note? See, suppose you are purchasing shares today. Suppose we have invested. If I say the most simple terms, you have deposited money in your bank. Now, at the very same time, you will get a message in your mobile, SMS, that your account is being credited with this amount of money. So you're getting that SMS, right? In stock markets, it is known as a contract note. Contract note is something which you will get by the broker. Suppose today, if I have purchased the shares of Reliance Limited, my broker, if my broker is Grow, because I am using Grow personally, if my broker is Grow will send me an contract note within 24 hours of purchase. I have purchased today at 10 a.m. Suppose I purchased the shares, the broker have to give me the contract note within 24 hours. That is known as contract note. In a contract note, all such information about the number of shares, the tax charges, and all such informations are mentioned. I will present a picture in one of the videos in this series, and I will show you how a contract note actually looks like. So it is just like a receipt issued by the brokers to the investor, which gives various details. It is mandatory for the broker to give to the investor a contract note within 24 hours. It is mandatory for a broker to give you a contract note in 24 hours. Okay, so this is all about this video. From tomorrow, in the next video, we will be talking about stock markets. We'll go more into deeper about fundamental analysis, financial analysis, industry analysis of markets, and the subsequent videos will also come. So I hope that you have understood till now. So stay tuned for further videos. Thank you for joining this video.